product of the roots of quadratic equation. Now, we only have to follow a certain formula in order to find the sum and product of the roots. And let's have some examples. Okay, for example, this is the equation. The given equation is x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 0. And factoring is applicable here, solved by factoring, because this is a general trinomial that can be factored out as x plus 4 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. So apply zero product property, you have x plus 4 equals 0, x plus 3 equals 0. Transfer 4 from left to right, negative 4, the other one is negative 3. And once we find the sum, if we add the two roots, negative 4 times negative 3, the result is negative 7. Well, the product is positive 12 because we're going to multiply negative 4 and negative 3. So the sum is negative 7, the product is positive 12. Now, if we want to use a certain method, which is not by solving the equation, and then after solving, we add or multiply the results, the roots, we just need to apply a certain formula. So the formula to find the sum and product will be based on the quadratic equation or formula itself. So let us go back with the quadratic formula from the previous slide, this one. If we begin with this formula, which is the quadratic formula, negative b plus the square root plus and minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. If we get the two values of the roots, one is positive. So this will serve as x of 1, and then x of 2 will be the negative value, this one. And so this is the first root, is the positive, the second root, the negative 1. Now, if we add the two roots, because of the word sum, meaning we're going to add the two roots, we're going to use addition in this case. The two expressions contain same denominator, 2a. Therefore, we can add them because they are similar fractions. So add the two numerators. We begin by adding negative b plus negative b. The result is negative 2b. Negative 2b is from negative b plus negative b. Well, the expression with radical, this one, yung plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac and minus b squared minus 4ac will be equal to 0. This will be cancelled. Kasi 0 ang result niya. What will remain is negative b over, negative 2b over 2a. And let me use an equation. The result will be negative 2b over 2a. Negative 2b is from adding negative b plus negative b. 2a is by simply copying the denominator. Equals, so we need now to simplify because both numerator and denominators contain 2. Let's simplify as the answer here will become equals negative b over a. Simply cancel 2. Therefore, this is now the sum, the formula to find the sum. Yes, John Arthur, you raise your hand. Hello, John Arthur? Do you have any question? So the sum can be computed as negative b over a. So if we try here, in the previous example, if we start with a given, let's say this is a given equation. So here, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to 12. Using the formula for the sum, using the formula for the sum, which is negative b over a, we can find the sum even without finding the roots of the equation. By simply using the formula negative b over a, we can actually determine that the sum of the roots will be negative b is 7 over a, which is 1. Therefore, the sum is negative 7. The sum of the roots is negative 7. Okay. Because we simply use the formula negative b over a. Now let us move to the product of the roots. When you say product, so this is for the sum. Now for the product, we need to multiply the product of the roots. Instead of addition, we multiply. Here, the symbol is multiplication. Multiplication. Sorry. Multiplication. So we multiply the numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. So if you multiply the numerator times the numerator, we obtain, so negative b times negative b is b squared. Negative b times negative b is b, lowercase b squared. And then the outer terms and the inner terms will be 0. Negative b times negative will be positive. Ito naman negative. So 0. Proceed with the last terms. The signs are different, so minus. And then multiplying naka-square root will be simply, the answer will be simply the expression inside b squared minus 4ac. And then multiply also the denominators. We will multiply the denominators. The numerator will be negative b minus b squared minus 4ac. And then multiply 2 times 2, 4. A times a squared. And then simplify the equation. B squared minus b squared is 0. What remains will be the value which is negative 4ac all over 4a squared. And we can still simplify this because both of them contain 4. Negative c over a. Negative c over a negative, it should be positive. Positive na pala to. Negative 4ac kasi plus negative 4ac is positive. Sorry. So positive 4ac. And then the result is c over a. 4 over 4 is 1. A over a squared is a. C over a. Therefore, the sum of the roots, a product of the roots, can be obtained using the statement or the formula c over a. Let's try it in the same equation, x squared plus 7x plus 12. So we have a1, b7, c12. The formula is c over a. C is 12, 12 over 1. 12 divided by 1 is 12. 12. The product of the roots is 12. Okay. So even without solving the roots, which are negative 4, negative 3, by simply looking at what is the sum and the product, we can be able to determine the roots. Negative 7 and 12. Sum is negative 7, product is 12. Now let us try how this will be used in a particular situation. Let's say, for example, which activity should be answered and submitted on Friday? Is it activity 5? Is it activity 5 sa page 71? Okay. So let us let us answer the first one, number 1 muna. So, number 1. So, let me first write the equation. X squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So, the given equation is x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals 0. So, to find the sum, sum of the roots, use the formula from the previous slide. Okay, the formula is negative b over a. Again, to find the sum of the roots, just use negative b over a. So negative, what is b? 4. From the equation, b is 4. What is a? 1. So negative 4 over 1 is negative 4. So the sum of the roots is negative 4. Okay? The sum of the roots is negative 4. Now, how about the product? Product of the roots. To find the product of the roots, we simply need to follow another formula. This time it is equal to C over A. To find the product, you C over A. From the given equation, C is equivalent to 3 and A is 1. 3 over 1 is 3. Therefore, the product is 3. Now, to find the roots, you will think of two numbers. Once you add, the result is negative 4. But once you multiply, the result is positive 3. Okay, it will be x of 1, the first root, because we are solving for two roots here, and x of 2. To find these two, what is x of 1, what is x of 2, we need to consider the values of the sum and product. Since the sum is negative and the product is positive, we all know that if we multiply two negative numbers, the result is positive. If we add two negative numbers, the result is negative. Therefore, we are looking for two roots which are both negative. We're looking for two roots which are both negative because it will give us a negative sum and a positive product. Now, what are those two numbers that once you multiply, the result is positive 3, but once you add, the result is negative 4? Can you think of two numbers? Once you add, okay, very good, Havana. So, it will be negative 3 and negative 1. Because once you add negative 3 plus negative 1, the result is negative 4. And once you multiply negative 3 and negative 1, the product is positive 3. Can we interchange the two? Can you say x of 1 equals negative 1, x of 2 equals negative 3? Hello? My question is, can you interchange the two? Can you say x of 1 equals negative 1 and x of 2 equals negative 3? The answer is yes. It doesn't matter which is x of 1 and which is x of 2. What is important is you're able to identify these two numbers, negative 3 and negative 1. X of 1 and x of 2 are just simply names that showing that there are two roots. We're solving for two roots. And those are negative 3 and negative 1. Any questions? Any questions? So you need to answer all 10. Number 1 is a bonus. We're able to answer it. You need to answer up to 10 items, up to page 72. If the first term is not in x squared, say for example, which one? You need to rearrange the terms. if the first term is not x squared, for example, this one, take for example, the equation is like this. Ganito ba yung question mo, Jumel? Sorry. What if the first term is not x squared? Ito ba question mo, Jumel? The first term is not x squared in the first term. You need to rearrange the terms. You need to write x squared in the first term to be able to write it in standard form. Walang x squared sa unahan. So totally there's no term as x squared. For example, 4x plus 3. It is not a quadratic equation, meaning it cannot be solved or applied in this particular lesson. Because this lesson is limited only to quadratic. Meron pa hindi x squared. For example, let us try number 2. For example, number 2. Do you mean like for example number 2? Yes, okay. So let us try number 2. Okay. I will insert the equation. The given equation is 6x squared plus 12x minus 18 is equal to 0. So that's the given equation. It can be solved using the same formula for the sum and product. The sum is negative b over a. So negative 12 over 6. Because b here is 12, a is 6. Then simplify, negative 12 divided by 6 is negative 2. For the product, c is negative 18. And then a is 6. Negative 18 divided by 6 is negative 3. So we have the sum is negative 2 and then the product is negative 3. So still we are looking for two numbers, two values of x. Now, you need to think of two numbers when you multiply negative 3 once you add negative 2. Since the product is negative, so please take note of this. Since the product is negative, obviously there should be one negative and one positive. Okay? Because the product is negative. You can only obtain a negative product once you multiply two numbers with different signs. Okay. Two numbers, once you add negative 2, it will be negative 3 and positive 1. Because negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So the roots are negative 3 and positive 1. Why? Why did we arrive at negative 3 and positive 1? If we check, negative 3 plus 1, negative 2. That is the sum. And then once we multiply negative 3 times 1 equals negative 3. That is the product. Okay, negative 3, negative 2. Sum, product. We're able to get the two roots, negative 3 and 1.